Hey there, Lumio lovers. Welcome back to another Lumio live stream. We are your hosts. My name is Asha, and I have the lovely Mish and the lovely Lois. Hey, ladies, how's it going?
It's been a
And
while.
it has been. I'm so glad that we're back together again. Well, today we have an awesome lesson, and we're going to show you guys how you can use instructional audio, but in different ways. So stay tuned. And if you'd like to follow along live, if you go to hellosmart.com, join in as a guest, and enter in class code 181461. Ladies, take it away.
Thanks, Asha. How's it going, everyone? I feel like it's been so long since we've done a Lumio Live. It's really only been a few weeks, but why does it feel like it was so long ago?
I
I think
know.
there was so much going on, and just coming off of Lumio Palooza as well, maybe that might be it.
That's probably why. Well, I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about instructional audio and different ways to use it other than just offering our students some support with giving instruction. And make sure you stay all the way to the end because we have a very exciting announcement coming to you. So I'm going to start out with giving a few different examples I have here for some primary learners. So as our students are learning their letter sounds, their CVC words, learning to sound out, I've got this activity here that I created using one of our digital manipulatives that we have ready for you in the Lumio library. These tiles here, if you guys tiles. So all I've done here with my instructional audio is the students have to log into the screen, they'll click play, and then they hear me saying, build the word dog. Uh, so giving them that instruction, but also offering them support with those letter sounds, making sure that I'm saying them the right way. And they'd be able, for those tactile learners, go ahead and build the word just like this. If this is your first time with Lumio, I've converted this sheet here into an individual handout, which means each of us have our own copy. So after I model my activity, I can also take a look at my dashboard and I can see that Asha's all done. I can click on hers and see how she's doing. One of our exciting new features here on the left is I've got these stickers, so I can add some feedback for her to let her know that I think she's done a really great job. Going along with my early learners here, I've got this puzzle, which I really like to digitize some puzzles because if you were in the classroom with me, you would have known that my puzzles were going missing all the time. They were being hidden under the carpet, they were being thrown away on accident. So, what a fun way to digitize these. So, what I've done here again is recorded myself reading the sentence. So, my students are getting that auditory instruction, they're able to listen to me read the sentence, then they have to read the sentence themselves to figure out which one it does match with. And apologies in advance, I am at the airport, so if you hear a lot of background noise, that is why. But all my students have to do here is grab the puzzle and move it to the sentence that I read. Same concept here. So one of them was a puzzle, so they had the visual with the words. Now we've taken the visual away, and now they just are listening to me read the sentence. The sentence that I'm reading in the instructional audio here is the pig sat in the mud. They follow along as I read, and then they drag the check mark to the sentence that they heard. Again, this is another individual handout, so I can just drop my teacher activity here and take a look at how my students are doing. How's it going, students?
So I love this, and I love that there's so many different ways that you can create this content to meet your students where they are, right? I think the infinitely cloned check mark here is great to be able to drag over. I don't think that this is an activity yet because I can't drag my check mark. Or maybe it's my
Oh,
internet.
no. It might be because I'm able to take a look at Ashes here, but as you're thinking through that, the other thing you can do to level this up is after they drag the check mark, what you can also tell them to do is grab the writing tool here and they can draw the picture. So just to show comprehension that they know what that sentence says, you can ask them to, after they drag the check mark to the one that I'm reading here, go ahead and draw that picture.
I love that.
All right, moving on here. This happens to be one of my most favorite activities. So, if you've got any students in your classroom that are emerging English learners or they're pre K or kindergarten, one of the things that they're practicing is their positional words. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly circle back to those students that are emerging English learners. They take their access testing as they move on through their learning English process. And so during access testing, one of the categories of that test is their listening skills. So this is a really great activity to be able to help them prepare for the listening part of their access testing. So in my audio recording, what I have done here is it's just me saying, first take the dog toys and place them inside the basket. Then take the vase and place it on top of the table. So this is a great way to practice vocab. I could have made all of these pictures here on the left different vocabulary words that the students are practicing, but also now they're practicing their positional words, which again is part of pre-K and kindergarten math. And also applying to my emerging English learners, this is a really great way for them to practice their listening skills for their access testing. And then what I've done here is perhaps I would go into my people management and here turn this into an individual handout. If we did it as a whole class, so I could do it on the board, but now I've turned it into an individual handout. So as my students work, I'd be able to open up their picture and see if they've set the scene correctly. Leveling this up, very similar activity here, except now they're also practicing their names of the shapes. So again, practicing positional words, practicing shape names, getting prepared for their listening part of their access testing. So lots of different ways here to use that instructional audio. To support my emerging English learners, perhaps I can give my instructions of what the activity is in the language. Perhaps it would be Spanish, whatever the language might be. And then the actual part I would do right in English. This is an activity that we actually had one of our amazing ambassadors. Her name is Audrey, and she showed this activity during one of her Lumio Palooza sessions. This would be in, I think it depends what state you're in, but mostly you start learning your second language in junior high and high school. That's when most schools start offering foreign language classes. And so here, all they have to do is read the caption in Spanish, if that's the class that they're taking. Maybe they're taking French. I know so many schools offer so many different languages. And then to showcase their understanding, all they have to do is grab the writing tool on the left and draw the picture that the caption is describing. I also have myself recording, reading these in Spanish as this is their foreign language class. Lois, may I open yours up?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. Let's see.
I didn't have time to draw the girl with black hair and purple pants, and an orange shirt. But I'm not an artist. But yes,
that's okay. It's all about the process. The new thing here, not new, but the way that we should be doing art, anyways, is more process versus product. So we don't want everyone's product to look the same. It's all about the process. But I'm going to give you a sticker here because I think you're doing awesome. It's really fun to open these up and take a look at how everyone is drawing their pictures. But yeah, thank you so much to our amazing ambassador, Audrey, who gave me this really cool idea. So the next page I have is very similar. All I did here instead actually was just have the instructions in English. So instead of having this be during our foreign language class, maybe this is for my emerging English learners. And same activity, except now the instructions here, the caption is in English. Now, what I could do is record myself here. My instructions are in that student's language, whatever language it might be. Maybe I'm supporting some Spanish speakers. So maybe I'll give the instructions in Spanish of what they're to do here, but then I can support by reading the caption here in English.
I just love any activity that allows me to doodle. No?
I do love that. It just, I want to see everyone's creativity. I feel like worksheets are so black and white, if you will. So this is a really fun way to get that creativity going. Now, a few months ago during one of our Lumio lives, we talked about math manipulatives and how you can really make your own by infinitely cloning objects. And one thing that my students struggled a lot with, because I worked in a school where I had a lot of students where English was their second language, was when we got to word problems, that was a really hard time of year for them in regards to math. So all I've done here is I still have my word problem written out in English. I've got my manipulatives ready to go to offer that extra support. But also in my instructional audio, I have the word problem. I have it reading in, I read it in Spanish, but it could be in any language that your students do come in speaking. So as I drop here, I'm going to open up to see how everyone's doing. And just a reminder, one way that I really like to use the done button that you see on your student side, the top right of your screen does have done. One way that I tell my students to use that button other than just saying, hey, Miss Grinberg, I'm done, is I'll say, go ahead and hit that done button if you're feeling brave today and I can show your work on the big screen. So Lois and Asha both gave me that green check mark so I can click on it. They've let me know, oh, Asha took hers, or Lois took hers away.
I
But I
forgot
can
to answer the question. I was too busy playing with the manipulatives. That's what
You were
happened.
just so excited, and that's okay. I'm going to open Lois up here. Let's see. Use all the manipulatives. Oh, I really like this thing that you did here. You underlined the important parts of your word problem. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that a lot of times we can teach students practices that will help them understand the problem, whether they speak one language or multiple languages, right? I think the hardest part about word problems are understanding what it's asking, right? And you can see that I didn't underline the part where it says fruit all together. And that's why I missed that. So I definitely could have used my own advice there and circled that because that's what the whole question was. But yeah, I think making sure that you're able to decipher what exactly the question is asking is super helpful. And we have lots of tools built into Lumio. Like I believe Immersive Reader might be helpful in a situation like that.
I'm going to hop right over. We're almost at time here, so I want to quickly tell you one more thing here. So again, as teachers, we have so many materials that we already use, whether it's district provided or you already bought it on Teachers Pay Teachers, you created something. If you're unfamiliar, right over here, we've got this button called Immersive Reader. I'm not going to show you too much of it today, but if you go back to our YouTube channel and go back to we do have a Lumio Live from a couple months ago that was called Immersive Reader, where we really dive into how you can use it. But essentially, if I click on it, it'll highlight all of the text on the screen for me. I'm able to click on it here and customize settings with language, if I need to change the font, and all these different features that I can change up. So if you'd like to explore more about Immersive Reader, YouTube channel, and we do have a Lumio Live from a couple months ago where we do really break down what you can do with Immersive Reader. But the other thing you can do with instructional audio is also record yourself reading it. Perhaps Immersive Reader is not working, which if you watch that other YouTube video, will tell you why it wouldn't be working. So you can just record yourself reading it. So if you were to click play here, recording myself reading this passage. All right, last but not least, y'all, we do have our August Lumio Challenge. You can join our hashtag Lumio Challenge. Think about how you're making learning active with Lumio. Do you have any activities that you're getting ready for the start of the year, for the first week? Have you already started school and you used Lumio? That was a really fun way to make your learning active. If you go on socials, on our Facebook page and hashtag Lumio Challenge with a screenshot of how you are using Lumio, you can be entered to win a gift card. We'd love to see what y'all are doing. And before we let you guys all go, we do also have a brand new feature that just got announced in Lumio that's being released later this month. We did announce it in our ambassador community. And if you're not part of our ambassador community, when we do share out the link for my Lumio lesson, the link to apply to be an ambassador is in there. So if you see here, I've been talking a lot about instructional audio, about recording myself using different ways to give instruction to my students. But now here's our sneak peek. Students will be able to attach audio as well, making learning more accessible for all of your learners, and we're so excited! And this just got announced. It'll be coming out later this month, and our ambassadors did get to know about it first. So we've got different ideas going on in the chat here of how different students can be using attached audio. We're so excited to make learning more accessible with this new feature.
Super exciting. I cannot wait.
Me too. I'm super excited as well. And don't forget, if you want to dig deeper and see our previous lessons, as me shared, we're on YouTube. You can also go to go.smarttech.com/golumio. And we're also going to be posting our fall schedule for webinars. And I think when's the first one? Is it September 12th?
Yes, and September 12th is, oh, yes, I did forget to mention that. September 12th, I am going to be doing a webinar on different ways that you can be using this new accessibility feature of attached audio. So please join us there. That should be getting posted on our website today for you to register to be part of that webinar.
And it's
Oh,
in the chat now.
There we go.
awesome. No, Mish, thank you again for such a phenomenal lesson. Lois, I love how you showed your work on the fruit question because I surely didn't, and I'm glad Mish didn't show it. But thanks again, everyone, for joining us for another Lumio live session. Don't forget, we'll be back in a couple of weeks, and we'll see you then.
Bye,
Thanks all.
everyone.